Greetings and salutations. I'm Ben. Welcome to Canucks with Guitars, presented by the people that just went by on the banner, which is, I don't know, LPD Pedals, Reno Fin Custom Guitars, Tesi Switch, FU Tone, Vibraprint, Flipside Music, and Ardens Music. Yay!
All the cool
awesome
people.
sauce. I'm Ben. He's Terry. Where's Dre? Well, he's in Tofino, BC, which, if you know your Canadian geography, it is the surfing capital of Canada. So what are you saying? He's surfing instead of coming out here? No. Yeah, I noticed that too, Aaron. I wasn't going to say a word. It's got Jeff Gordon's thing. Yeah. So anyways, being the surfing capital of Canada, you know what that means, Terry? It's windy there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because wind makes the waves. That's how it works. So, unfortunately, Andre had quite the windstorm, which knocked the power right out at his place. So he asked if we could reschedule. So hopefully 1 week from tonight, we'll have Andre return, because I've got a few Sundays booked. I didn't want to say, Terry, well, do you want to come back next month? You know, no, let's get this going. You know, it's been too long. Let's do the chat next week. So we shall do that. Let's get to roll call. In the chat, we have Magic Man, Dave Ennis, Mark Effects, Michael Kroos, Hit Metal Works, Billy Baloney, Guitar Man 45, Luke Sinkovic. Sure. Luke, you know. Yeah. Michael, he's here. Thomas Santiago. Oh, someone put the speed up on that one. Someone, don't keep the focus powder away from the drummer. He's too fast. Aaron from Albus Band, Tim Thomas, Symmetry, Paul McNary, Christopher, Janice, Mo, Ogni, that is, Charles 75N, Tim Thomas, House of Twang, Fret Level Midnight, Kate Tony, who's actually early, although he's probably already left. He's been here and left already, I'm sure. Sure. Zach Thong is here. He was in here nice and early. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Good to see you, my friend. So yes, I put the pinned comment up just so in case I forget to keep mentioning it throughout the show. So we will have Andre back next week. Benji's here from New Zealand. So, awesome. So live Q&A. We're live. You got the Q's. We got the A's. We're also going to discuss Terry had new guitar day on the weekend. All Dave, all night. I love it.
Nice.
Talk about my continuing jams, to which I was asked today, hey, should we invite the bass player to the next one? I said, why not? He says, hey, do you know any singers? I'm like, not really. Well, I do, but not really. All right, Janice. So yeah, that's what's up with that. I was talking with Frank today, doing a setup on his Telecaster. He goes, can you set up my Telecaster like your Telecaster? I'm like, I can. He's like, will you? I'm like, sure. Offered him the friends and family discount.
You know, you should have said jokingly, you do realize that means I'll be running your frets down to nothing?
It's got the more jumbo frets. I know that. All right, see you, my knees hurt. Thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might start recording some of the jams once we have a full band. You know, it's just two guys on guitar and a drummer right now, and it's just open jam stuff. So I don't know. I could shoot a bit of stuff, maybe. I don't know how it would sound. I wouldn't mind doing some sound samples. Like, just drop the mic in the middle of the room, hanging down, and see what it picks up. So
yeah.
Fool around with it a bit. I figure where my headphones are and stuff so I can, during breaks, listen. Oh, okay, that sounds good. Because, not going to lie, you know, we played Greasy Weasel, and damn good with an actual drummer. No offense, Moore. Moore is my current drummer, or was my current drummer. He's been replaced by a human. You don't hear that very often. The robot got replaced by the human. Speaking of pedals, hey, Lawrence. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Lawrence.
Vince RJ is here.
So, yeah, I will say that it was awesome to, well, it's cool to be on twice. But I mean, last night was awesome for the community hang.
That was a good hang.
Yeah, it was awesome. In my case, first time experiencing unbelievable, and it was also awesome to see Charles 75. And
he's a character. Don't let him fool you, Terry. He's a character.
Yeah, and awesome to see Billy Baloney.
Yeah,
and
Symmetry,
Chris
Coburg.
Yeah, like, so it was awesome to like see everyone. You know, I am honestly very impressed with you individuals as people.
Billy says I was a little buzzed. That's okay, Billy. I was a lot of buzzed.
So like, but again,
I never did put my camera right. I'm bugging me ever since.
But I just want to say, like, you know, like, thank you again for the folks that did show up and came on. And, you know, it's awesome to know that, you know, the people behind the names are truly awesome people.
Exactly.
What they represent themselves online.
Yeah. And, you know, and you came on last night because you thought you had tonight off. Nope.
No, apparently.
I thought, well, worst case, you know, I was going to go alone because apparently as long as we keep all this crap turned off, I'm somewhat clear. So,
yeah,
it's good to know. Drinking cold snacks and watching football all day. Well, you're American. That's allowable.
I
don't think you can do that in Canada because we only got like 9 teams and they don't even all play on the same day of the week.
No,
like Friday night football and Sunday football and Tuesday football. They don't care. Whenever they get the arena, the stadium rented out, I guess. I don't know.
It's CFL football on TSN.
The CFL. We have bigger balls. Which used to be the case. Now they play with the same size football.
Yeah. I was lucky to sit at the big... Oh, jeez!
Oh, Christopher, that'd be a good show, but yeah, that's not a cheap ticket. That's for sure. Hey, Papa Blue!
Hey, Papa Blue.
So I actually went to 2 rehearsals in a row, Terry, without changing anything on the pedal board.
Nice.
Did that? I did. I almost did, but then I didn't have it. I had enough time to swap out one pedal for another, but I didn't have enough time because that other pedal was bigger. I didn't have enough time to scoot all the other ones down the old pedal board to make room for it. So we didn't. We ended up. So the Choya Boost was still on there. The Nice Drive A was not on there yet. That's what's going to go on there. So yeah, it was fun. It was good. A lot of fun. I said that. And good. Yep. And then we're not rehearsing or practicing or jamming this Saturday because I've got the memorial for Dan. They did the actual memorial for him, but Richie had planned a jam later that evening, and then something happened. Jam got canceled, so it's been rescheduled, and it's going to be at our friend Corey's place. She decided to host it, which is cool because she's also been in a band or two with Dan and was good friends with him for a number of years. So we're all getting together over at Corey's place on Saturday. And she said around 5:30 or 6, which means I think she's feeding us too.
Ooh, nothing wrong with that. Yep. So you didn't find yourself to have the kind of soreness and whatnot like you had last week, or was
not
it
bad? No, hands were sore, but I think that's to be expected. You know, my hands always hurt after playing. So, excuse me, but yeah, the shoulder. A little tightness, but it wasn't sore. Like it didn't feel like walking around with the book bag with all the textbooks in it for a day and a half.
Oh yeah.
You know, like because that's what it felt like. And I took a heavier guitar. You know, the Music Man is lighter than my Telly. But I did take the Telly, and yeah, the hands were not. They were more fingertips than hands. After about say half an hour after I stopped, they're okay because I played with 9s instead of 10s.
So more the kind of the callus effect more than anything else.
Yeah, I just got to build the calluses back up is all.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I saw, Fruitcake Tony's back. Oh, Vince RJ had asked, what is the PV amp? Back yonder? That? I just want to make sure of the name. Yeah. So that's a PV Classic. Before it was known as the Classic 50. So it's your original all-tube 212. Well, Milt, time is of the essence. There's a reason why the old Chibson's on the stand, because I had a guy contact me today about it, asking if I was interested. And since I am still paying off the Music Man, Terry, I basically, the price I was selling that for, I basically threw in a hard shell case for free if he wants it. I basically a brand new hard shell case for it, more or less.
Nice.
Because I think I have 3 identical hard shell cases for Lester Pulfus's shaped objects. And so a couple of them are a little beat up because one of them has a few hundred gigs on it,
So let's first get the Keith H thing out of the way. Bonafetta. If I pronounce it, kind of sounds a little Italian, but it's Bonafette.
Yeah.
Keith Jr.
Yeah, salute Keith Jr. Comment ça va?
Really screw around with them now. It's like, what? Now they're talking French. I thought they didn't talk French.
No, Bonafette, yes. Happy birthday, buddy. Let's see. Lawrence says, do you do ice water soak your hands after long sessions? I find it to be very effective. I found actually warm water. Warm water, and then if they're quite sore, some A535 right in the old thumbular muscle area, right in there, a little in there. It helps. So, unbelievable. Hey, Chris, we were talking about you earlier. It's great to see you on here last night. Yes, a guy offered, he's like, hey, you looking to get rid of that Gibson? I'm like, well, I don't play it. So, yeah. He's like, what's the price? I'm like, this week it's this. Price goes up by $100 next week. So.
Yeah, I was going to say when you said about the cold water and the hot water thing, it was kind of like I was saying in the side chat the other day. Cold water and cold actually compresses everything, including your blood cells and whatnot.
It causes me to cramp up more because I'm very arthritic.
Yeah, exactly. So in that case,
that's my fingers, folks. All the time.
So in that instance, when you actually introduce heat into that actually makes your blood flow quicker and faster.
Well, and I use warm, not hot. Too hot and they'll swell.
Yeah.
Same as my knees. My knees are the same way. I love having a really hot bath, the morning after a gig, right? Too. But if it's too hot, my knees swell up. Justin Cox, awesome, buddy. Thank you. New channel member.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
Papa Blue. That's funny. That's funny. He mentions that. If you look up the fake serial number, Terry, on the back of the Gibson.
Yeah.
You take that serial number, you throw her into the old, Lester Pulfus serial number lookup thing for Gibson database. It comes up as an 82 custom. So for it to look like an 83, that's cool. That's cool.
I like House of Twing's response to your comment about it going up in price. Kijiji style pricing.
No low balls. Well, the thing is, those things, at that time, that guitar was $300 off whatever dark corner of the interweb it was. I'm not saying it's worth that. Hey, Charlie S. But I'm going to say it's worth a minimum of $200.
Yeah.
Minimum. Okay? Because, it plays. It's now got Grover locking tuners on it. Those are like $125 Canadian.
Yeah.
And it's got 2 Duncan 59s in it. What are they worth? They got to be worth, even used. Figure that's got to be $200 in upgrades right there. Easy.
Yeah, I think the
Adam D, as I do drink, I make a point of drinking a large glass of milk every day. So yes. we gave her the old Kijiji setup, which means I wiped the fingerprints off it before I took the photos. Isn't that a full Kijiji setup? Because you wipe the front and the back. That's a full setup.
Oh God. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't do anything. I don't like totally clean down an instrument. Like I just give it a quick wipe down, quickly wipe down the fingerboard and maybe a little bit of the headstock, but that's about it.
Paid $1,083 with a chainsaw case.
Nice.
Well, you do that too, Adam. We can do. What tuners are on it? Grover locking tuners, 18-1. So they got that higher ratio, which you can really dial in. That's really weird, Terry, because you expect to hear the clink because you're used to tuning a Les Paul, and you're like, no, I can't give it a quarter turn without it clinking through the nut. But that's but it's like an eighth turn normally. So other than that, should mention if you're new and watching for the first time and enjoy this, please subscribe. We gained 2 subs overnight. Lost one during the show last night. I think they were just jealous because we would be having way too much fun.
Thanks,
Gear. All right, into the message that you sent me. I appreciate it, just because I can look at a schematic, kind of, but it's been a long time since I've done that, so from scratch. Hey, Brad. All right, you just can't self-promote for 7 minutes. Hey, but I can promote. You know that cool pick, the parts tray in the shape of a telly that I got? Brad's got a bunch of them up for sale. And he may be working on a custom guitar hanger. I don't know. Are you doing that, Brad? Should we talk about that? Because I could show the photo of that if you want. We could plug that. Totally. You can't plug your own stuff for 6 minutes now.
Adam, D.
Adam Triple D.
But yeah, Symmetry makes a good point here. He says, I'm surprised how many people don't clean the guitar before taking pick for selling it. Some are downright gross. I agree.
I definitely will clean everything prior to selling, to the point where, like, if the guitar's got really dead strings, Terry, and I'm throwing up on Kijiji, guess what? I'm investing the $7 in a pack of strings.
Yeah, even if it's a cheap set.
I'm investing Brad Miller's $7 in a pack of strings. Because while they're off, because I'd take them off to clean the fretboard and everything, and I'm not going to try to put old strings back on. But if the fretboard, like if it's a maple board with a bunch of mung, we're going to demung it, even if it takes away some of the mojo.
Yeah.
People are selling $3,000 guitars with a string missing. Well, no, they're asking $3,000. There's a difference. You're getting an echo, Michael Kroos? I'm not getting an echo. Is anybody else getting echo? Echo. Jeff T.
Echo.
5-jack guitar. Gear jump 35.
D.
Speaking of Bigsby's, that was my question for Ike and the guys. Like, hey, you guys got a guitar with a Bigsby on it? Just 'cause I was running out. And Dylan called me out on that too when I asked the question about capos. He's like, "Didn't Ben ask this a few months ago?"
That was hilarious. Hey, Scott, Brockway, and let's see here. LPD.
Offset.
Lawrence said it, as Lawrence said himself here, never underestimate the power of good photos. Sell faster for more money. I agree. That was like that short skill.
Well, he's justifying the purchase of this expensive camera he bought, Terry. Because I don't know if you happen to notice a lot of the photos now, or as I call it, propaganda that Lawrence posts on the social media. Some of those photos are damn snazzy. It's because he got himself a real nice camera.
True.
It doesn't hurt that he's got a collection of nice guitars to take alongside the pedals too.
But like I was saying, that Epiphone EB0 short scale bass I had,
Oh
like I
dear Lord.
said, that thing was nasty. The fretboard on that must have had dirt and nicotine built up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like scrubbing and cleaning on that for like 2 hours to get it back to the original fretboard. And even still, it was. Yeah.
They make YouTube videos now for selling houses. Symmetry. I was noticing that. Check out our YouTube channel and like local listings. Like it started coming up on my YouTube feed last year even. Hey, T Ricky, AQ Music. Yeah, they'll do like instead of a virtual tour. Well, that is your virtual tour. It's just someone going around vlogging it. You know, hey, this is this room. This is this room. Cool. Sure. Naphtha takes the grunge right off. Yep. Naphtha in a toothbrush.
Yeah, or 100% isopropylene. Just make sure not to get it close to your plastics.
Yeah, I just stick with the lighter fluid.
Cool
You know why I
Tunes-
stuck with the lighter fluid for the longest time? I had a big jug of lighter fluid and I quit smoking. So my Zippo never ran out. So then I had a lot of lighter fluid. Then I threw out the Zippo because it was a gift.
Cool Tunes has a good question.
I'm not hearing it, Scott. But then again, I don't hear a lot of those frequencies. Who has a question?
Cool Tunes Made Easy.
Cool Tunes
821.
Made Easy. All right, let me scroll up. Need some advice? That one?
Yep.
All right. I need some advice. Want to lower the action at the nut on acoustic file grooves. Shave the bottom of the nut. Never messed with an acoustic. Yes. I would shave the bottom of the nut the same way I would lower the nut in an electric.
Yeah.
You can, if the grooves aren't very deep, you can definitely lower the grooves. And then if they do seem a tad high, you can always remove material off the top of the nut as well. But then you're getting into reshaping the nut and the shoulders of said nut, stuff like that. So a lot of times it's just easy. Knock it out, take some material off the bottom.
Yeah, to me, I think messing around with the nut is something that can be a big boo boo, whereas the saddle is just a rather simple thing that you can take your time with. Whereas if you mess around with the nut, and the worst part is again, like you've said in the past, Ben, you put the rut in it just a little too deep, then you're pretty much having to look for a new nut.
Yeah, and your worst case, you're out $10 for a nut, $20, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how the action was lowered. The setup on my Martin, it's really low at both ends, and that's what the guy did. He shaved the bridge and shaved the saddle. Didn't shave the bridge because the bridge has never been off of it. Shaved the saddle and shaved the nut down, because that guitar doesn't have a truss rod.
Yeah. Another thing too, thinking about that as well too, is if you can find it. Yes. Enough unbelievable baking soda and super glue.
If you cut a nut slot too deep, definitely baking soda and super glue.
But I was going to say also at the same time, if he's finding it a bit high, like if he can have a certain way to measure it and find out if maybe the nut maybe is a little high, and maybe that's actually what it is. Maybe he just needs the nut slot lowered then instead of the bridge.
See if this loads. Yeah, I see that. Oh, there they are. Oh, yes. Okay. So, why don't we can do that. How do I do that again? I go here. I go here. Let's bring it up so everybody can see without me just holding up the phone. So, Brad is flogging these, and he wants to do his portion of the sponsorship of the show, I guess. So, how do we do that again? I go, right, share screen. All right, see you, Gear Junkie. And Justin Cox in Utah was mentioning he's going to start collecting DoD NAMM series pedals. Cool. I am not going to complain about that because we know I got a soft spot for the Dodds. There, look at that. I'm sure Brad can mention in the chat what the street price is on one of these. Probably by contacting.
That's nicely done, Brad.
Yeah, and we can do that. So here's the side view. See, not a veneer. Oh, look at that, and it holds picks if you want. Yep, does that. You know, you might even get one of these picks included with purchase of one of these. I'm just saying. You know, I can't guarantee it. It's plausible. Oh, was there another one? Nope, I guess not. Oh, there was another one. As I show off it. Oh, look at that. And you can put your car keys and your spare change. Oh, you got a pick purse. Isn't that just sweet? Got a few of those. He's got 75 cents. He's clearly an American. What kind of car do you drive that has one of these fobs? I'm not familiar with one of them. I don't understand this. I got one of those fobs for the old minivan, right? Why does it have a standard door lock on the doors? The fob won't fit in the lock. Picks are included. Okay, good to know. Did we get a price? $1 million. No, you're not. Excuse me. I had a late night and an early morning. I didn't have to drive Sam home this evening, Terry. Amanda came to pick her up. And I didn't have to drive Amanda home either. She got a ride. One of her friends picked her up from work.
Nice.
They showed up at 7:30 to pick up Sam. I was like, I am so glad you got a ride home, because if I was picking you up at 7:30, this show wouldn't be starting till 8:30. $9.95. I assume plus shipping and handling. So.
Oh wow. So the guitar in question that
quote Johnny Carson? I did not know that.
The guitar in question that Cool Tunes is asking about doing that on is apparently a Guild 240 that he just got from Guitar Center. Nice.
It'd be a 500 meg pot, Scott. I think it just has one volume, doesn't it? Unbelievable. Talking about that Kramer.
Yeah, it's only one volume.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's just the one humbucker, one volume. It'd be a 500K. We're not putting a 1 meg pot in it, Scott. We're not you. You're a wild man. He wants all the resistance in there.
Yeah, I think it is simply a volume pot, but I could be wrong. It could actually be a
just a master tone
or a split. It could be a split.
I'm gonna wire it as a master tone, not a volume. You're not gonna convert me to the 1 meg. Decided on a 4-way switch for the Tele build. Why not, Charles? I don't know why anybody would install a 3-way switch.
What did I hear? I heard something crazy. I heard something about a 7-way switch or something like that. And I was like, 7-way?
Well, there's the, what's the company? They're out of England I was talking to. Let's call them the Switchblades. And, like, their Tele switch. Hey, Chris. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
You threatened me that you were going to rejoin. He was changing over banking info, so... These things happen. Sometimes members are no longer members or patrons. We'll get to that in a minute. Because you got a new credit card, and the old credit card doesn't carry over the monthly things. Anywho's, where was I going with that? Totally lost my train of thought.
Switch,
right?
Switch.
So like a Tele switch, 3-way, but it'd be angled over, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, and I'd say like for my Tele, that's not my Tele, but. Same thing for a Les Paul. Let's say Les Paul. 1, 2, 3. So it's the bridge, middle, neck. Then you flip it over, and that coil taps it. Neck, middle, bridge. So, and so a Tele would have a 6-way. A Lester Pulfus would have a 6-way. A Strat, you could have 10-way because it moves over.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool, though. Except for, can you imagine the wiring mess of wiring that all together?
Oh, I did sort of that. Yeah, like a car shifter, kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I want, a 4-way switch that is like a 4 on the floor. Back over. That'd be cool. Someone designed that. I don't know what you would do that kind of in. I don't know.
As far as I know, with the 1 meg pod obsession, as far as I know, the only instruments that actually really utilize them well is, I believe, the Jazzmasters / Jaguar.
Jazzmasters had them in them, and I could be mistaken. I want to say some of the active pickup sets, like EMGs, use like a 1 meg pod.
Yeah, and
hey, BC Rich.
Else? Also on some of the original wide range humbuckers in the Fender guitars back in the day, they're actually
I wouldn't know because well, you got to brighten them up. They're dark as the living night. Yeah, EMG uses only 10K or 25K. Oh, so they went the opposite way. Right. They don't want any of the resistance.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we got 46 people watching. We're at the bottom of the hour. Guitar gear has plateaued. I think it has as well, Justin. I think it has as well. So I want to give a shout out to the patrons before I forget. So you can become a patron by typing that into the address bar, or there's a link down below, and you get a shout out each week. So I want to shout out Mohogany, Randy Crooks, Other Left, Absolute Mayhem, Brad Guitar Miller, Charles Green, Todd Flowers, aka Cuz, Craig T. Tomlinson, Grumpy Mike Guitar, Blackjack Guitar, Bent Tom, Fruitcake Tony, Jose Bendito Martinez Jr., JPPH2, John ZD351, Charles 75N, unbelievable, Knucklehead Zero, Keith H., Joe C., Mickey Sotomayor, Paul McNary, Symmetry, and of course Guitar Man 45, or as we know him as the real Detroit City Rocker. Nuge has nothing on Guitar Man 45.
That's a scary thought, Scott Brockway.
Some Gibsons came with 2 meg, and some Tellys came with 1 meg. That's insane. Fretless Midnight says, I can get my guitar to sound almost exactly like a bass with this more tender octaver MK1 through my Decibels Golden Horse Squad. Yeah. And an optical compressor. Nice.
That's a lot just to get it to sound like a bass.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, you can get some merch if you want. I don't know if I have hats. I have hats. That's right. I got the old forehead awnings if you need them. Louder is more good. Yep. That's like when we were jamming on Saturday, Terry, and Frank kept goosing up his amp a little here and there, right? And he's, hey, can you turn up? I'm like, dude, I'm barely on. Of course, I got lots of room. He's like, yeah, turn up. So Mihai's like, turn up as loud as you want. I'm like, no. If I do that, you won't hear Frank. He goes, oh, you'll hear me. I'm like, no, you won't. I said, we have similar tone stacks because we're both playing Fender amps of the same family. Difference is you have 10 watts. I have 40. I'm going to be louder. Dang. Fretless Midnight's running over 30 pedals on a studio board.
That's crazy. That's like, wow. I'm trying to think of, there's somebody out there that actually did have that many pedals, and that was their tour rig. It was like 30
okay, because I was going to say, we haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but Paul Ewing has, I think, 52 on his board.
Oh, wow.
He's playing the prog rock, so.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. Yeah, I get it, Fretless Midnight. It's nice to have the choices there, right? What do I feel like playing through? Like, I do the same thing. I pull stuff off walls and stuff. Like, yeah, there's the gap there because I didn't feel like bringing the amp all the way down the stairs through to the other end of the house to put it back up here. So my amp's sitting in my kitchen right now, Terry. because it's
Oh,
conveniently,
jeez.
garage. You come in the garage door, and it's either go up 3 stairs, and the kitchen's right there, or down 8 stairs around a couple corners. Well, look who decided to grace us with his presence. The OG gambler himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Sullivan, fellow Canuck with guitars.
Nice.
How you doing, buddy? I think he recently did a setup on his Les Paul, if I'm not mistaken. Vernon Reid does have, Vernon Reid has like a full pedal board and like an Axe-Fx and an iPad all on stage.
Wow. That's crazy. That's
I'll join you. I'm going to join you, Dan. Just saying. I've already been debating building the big board back up to take to a jam, Terry, because I'm missing just randomly throwing phasers on and stuff, especially when we get into, I don't know, an 11-minute jam of a song where I'm playing lead for 10 and a half of the 11 minutes, and I only know so many riffs. So that way I can just, I don't know, do the same riff with a phaser on. Yeah. Awesome. He did do that. Thought so. Now you keep up.
I have to step away for a second.
What's
I'll be
that?
right back. So I got to step away for a second.
Well, you be you. I'll be me. All right. Unbelievable doesn't even know how many pedals are on his board. Sure. He keeps it liquid. I got 18 available. I even have 12 available on one or both of those power supplies. It's a single 12 out. Not that I need it. Yeah. Well, see, that's why I got to build the bigger board. I'm going to need a bigger board. Rainbow Machine is currently sitting on the shelf back there, along with my stereo chorus. Stereo's chorus became obsolete because I'm not running stereo, and I've got Lawrence's chorus on there. And that one's wide. That would take up a lot of room. Another reason we need to build a big board. Maybe that'll be a video this week, folks. Type 1 in the chat if you want me to build yet another pedal board. Yeah. Although, I don't want to take apart the other board, so it could be interesting what we come up with for pedals. Be lacking in LPD. No, it won't. Oh, no. We'll put the hayseed in a vermin or two. All right, there's a couple of ones. All right. Because then I don't have to drag the amp back in here to set up to do a demo this week, right? All right, there's Adam. Not saying Adam was the one inquiring about the old. Oh, look at that, Adam. Oh, there it is. We could, give you a better look if you want. There it is. Oh, Terry's back. We can hear him. Couldn't see.
Had to visit the facility. And there you go, Aaron.
Nice. I'm thinking that, Brad, an in-between board. Like, I'd like to have 2 smaller boards. One board's just all McGain, and then you have your effects loop board, essentially. So, nice for 11 midnight.
What a weird name.
I'm not saying I started at 10 a.m. this morning, but...
Yeah, it's funny because when I was thinking about doing an effects setup, I was like thinking like a 2-tier board, or like you're saying, maybe even like one board that's only got the effects on it, and then another board that has only all the distortions.
And one on either side of a mic stand.
Yeah.
So, if anyone has a surplus pedal board they want to get rid of, let me know. You know, if it's a smaller flyaway board, that's fine. I'm too damn lazy to build pedal boards, but if anyone has a used one they want to get rid of, let me know. I was looking at some of those cheap ones on the Jungle website. Reminds me, that's right. Some of the patrons have mentioned put together an Amazon wish list, which I have done. I'll post it in Patreon, maybe on the community page or something for the members, because they were asking, "Oh yeah, throw it up there." I'm like, all right. And there's a few of there's some cheap pedals there that would be cool to check out and stuff. Nope, there's no like hand-wired boutique stuff on there, Terry. I'm not that type of person. Put some Jungle pedals up on there, and you know. Oh, there was a few MXR, you know, because the MXR you can get through Amazon. So I was like, ooh, I could include those, but I didn't.
Although I was going to say, what, Lawrence doesn't sell through Amazon? I'm actually surprised that Lawrence doesn't have something in place to actually sell his pedals through Amazon. That'd be another market he could go into and dominate with his effects. But at the same time, like what you said, yeah, there's a lot of decent price stuff on Amazon that's still very usable.
Yeah. Nice. Shatter hash. That's good. Okay. Donner makes boards that are super cheap. Yeah. Has anyone tried the deep fade? I don't think it's actually been released yet to the general public. The great unwashed, if you will.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I've only seen the one video on it. I haven't even seen anybody else put out a demo on it yet.
I've seen 2 or 3 pop up into my feed, but I've never checked them out. But, you know, that said, I think when Ike was on here, I think he had mentioned that it was a couple weeks away.
Oh, that reminds me. I should check out Flipside's site too, because Ike's putting together a care package, so I can just buy something with free shipping. Because Ike's putting together a care package. Because that's how I roll.
Yeah, LPD uses reverb, but better to order direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that way too, because then reverb isn't taking their piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, oh, and while you were gone, apparently I'm building another pedal board this week. Well, consider I'm looking at this abomination known as a pedal board right now.
Well, I was just going to say, like, that Fender pedal board bag thing. It's a cool idea, but again, you can't, like, have, you know, the amount of effects you already got on it is, like, already a fair amount to begin with. Like, it's probably only meant to really have, like, 5 effects on it, really.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here, let me just rotate the photo. Done. All right, so my abomination of a pedal board. Actually, you know what? I'll send it into our group chat. Then I can do it as a screen share. You see what I'm thinking, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, I'll just message you, because then Tom's like, why is Ben sending us this? Which, yeah, Tom's not here because Tom wasn't expecting to be here, so Tom doesn't have to be here. Oh, that's an abomination if I've ever seen one. All right. And then bring that up.
We got a question from D-Mac.
D-Mac, what's up, buddy? Hey, guys, thinking of changing out the Grover tuners on my Gibson SG Standard. I'd like something lighter and rated as good or better than the Grovers. Any suggestions? Well, I have heard, you know, where for years when people were taking the Clousons off the Les Pauls and throwing Grovers on them, guys take Grovers off and put Clousons on to get rid of the neck dive on the SGs. I recently found out about this phenomenon. So that's an option.
One suggestion I would make, and again, there is one of Ben's channel sponsors that actually does offer them. so you can get a discount on them, but get a set of open
Hip shot.
hip shots.
Build
I had them on a V.
TesiSwitch.com. Use coupon code Canucks.
Yeah. I had them on the Flying V, and like I said,
So how's that for an abomination?
that's why I was laughing. I was like, oh my god.
And yes, the one power supply is still on because there's several lamps plugged into that power supply, as you see right here. So
yeah.
So we got a Joyo classic flanger, a Phase 95, which was apparently at the front of the chain, and a Keeley compressor all by its lonesome over here. A lot of cat hair. The outlines, it looks like ruins where this is where pedals once stood. The wide one, that would be where the 87 was. Yep, I can tell. So yeah, that's my dirty ass board. So yeah, we gotta do something about that thing.
Yes, front level Midnight's other suggestions are also very good too. Godo's are really well. He's kind of honestly kind of re-quoting what Ike was saying, what Ike and Dylan were saying a while back. Godo, hip shot, Schaller, the other one there. He said the Graphtech ratios. Somebody stormed the stage and stole your pedals.
Well, yeah, and okay. Well, I happen to have one right here to go on it. So this will be going on the board out of spite. I have no need for it, but somebody wants it on there. It doesn't have a master volume, so you can't just use it like a lead boost. Well, I suppose you could goose everything up past Unity a bit, and that would be your lead boost. You know, if you wanted a flat boost. But that's an option for the lead boost, too. Does it have a battery in it? Of course not. Good. So, apparently we're getting a high-pitched ring. Okay. So we're going to do a test. I'm going to mute myself first. We'll see if it goes. I think I hear something too now.
I hear something like that, but I think it's the tinnitus in my ears acting up a little bit.
All right, now I'm going to mute Terry. Oh, I think something went away.
Is it for me?
I think so.
I don't hear it, but I also muted and unmuted, so.
Well, you don't do. I was doing it one at a time, so we'd know which is which.
No, I meant when I went away. I actually muted my mic.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
people were saying it's you. All right, so you got a background somewhere, Terry. Scott's like, I heard it the whole time. See, I'm not crazy. Nobody said you were, Scott, this time.
I just turned it back down.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, I don't know. Do we hear it? We all have tinnitus. That's the way All right. Well, it may or may not be. I don't know. I might hear it. Why? Why? That's why you end up crumpled up in the first place, because you won't cooperate with your friend. Dick. Like you need a manual for an EQ. Move stuff. You'll hear different stuff. Put a pedal
in my signal chain.
Like a noise gate. You need a noise gate? Because I have like 5 freaking noise gates. People keep sending me noise gates to demo out of spite. I've never done a noise gate demo. I'm not sure I ever will.
What if this? Keep this. No, mute. Okay, how about now? Is it still?
all I can hear is the highway now. It started raining again, so the wheels on the highway.
Billy Baloney, Terry 30K.
Did you get a soft gate? No. Yeah, it's still there. That's what I thought.
Ha ha ha, Scott. Well, of course, muting will get rid of it.
I don't know. Maybe try moving the mic closer and turning down your preamp.
Well, the mic is a bit closer. How about now?
It's definitely quieter. You're definitely quieter.
Test.
I bring it up just a touch. Not as much as it was.
Just a touch.
He says your mic's picking up interference from your monitor or phone.
What about now?
Oh. I don't know. I think I just hear my tinnitus now, Terry.
Yeah, that's it. Unbelievable. It's my goatee.
Here. There.
No, Dan called it.
I'm a single coil. Ben is a humbucker. But combined, that means we would be a P90.
All right, now I'm going to turn you up a bit since I'm half deaf. All right.
I can't hear you, Ben.
I don't even know where most of the gates are. I think I packed them away or something. Yeah, I've got a bunch of noise gates. Part of that pack of pedals that Paul Leonard Ewing, let's call him Leonard, Paul Ewing gave me. Yeah, there was like 3 noise gates in there alone. So, and then I've got the Behringer one, which I've had for years because I needed a noise gate, and it was the cheapest noise gate you could buy. That functioned, I guess. It's got one job. And then Unbelievable sent me an EQ and a noise gate to demo. Yeah.
Combined where...
Well, they're on the list. They'll get out eventually, I guess. That's when, Ben's really reaching the bottom of the barrel. You've done a month of noise gate videos. Will someone please send him a pedal?
I did have my cell phone like about 1.5 feet away.
Yeah, I got
to the
mine's basically arm's length. I keep mine further away, but people keep messaging me on the thing during shows.
Well, at least you don't have a Robert Baker who does that to Steve every once in a while.
Oh, Billy, I know that one. It's called gift cards. I was going to say credit card, but gift cards, because that is a hard cap. Gift cards.
You mean besides muscle?
Dan says, I think I'm defective. I haven't had a new pedal on my board in 4 years. Hey,
wow.
If you like what you got, what's wrong with that? I wish I could do that.
Hallmark Channel. But yeah, exactly. That's again the case when you find your perfect sound and what you want.
Now, if you got a board of 4 pedals that you never change and they're all noise gates, I might suggest investing in some new pickups or some grounding wire for your guitar, because you clearly need it.
or a new instrument or some new wiring in your house.
Batteries. I want to try one of those battery operated pedal boards they got with the lithium ion batteries now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They're
heard of that.
Sweet.
There's something I had seen on the Jungle website that I've put on my one.
Because if one could overwork it and blow it up, it's because I know Lawrence's pedals, Terry. Sometimes if you turn them all on, your lights will dim. They just suck all the juices because he's running stuff at. It says you like idiots like me. It says 9-volt input, so you assume it runs at 9 volts. Oh no!
But in actuality, it's 12.
No, the 87 runs at 24.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's how you get all that headroom and lushness. He just ramps up the power. Like I don't think you couldn't put 9-volt batteries in that thing because it would. Like no.
Well, the reason why I mention is because I have seen or heard of pedal builders that actually have built pedals that do say like, oh, it requires 9, but in actuality there's other conversions going on and they actually make it like 12 or 18 or whatever in it.
So wait. Oh, is that what you sent me? I thought you sent me a noise gate. I've been harassing you over. What's this then? So I got another Joyo pedal here, and I assume it was one that he sent me. Hey, let's do a pedal unboxing, Terry, because no, it's a noise gate. It's Joyo noise gate. All right.
It's a Joy noise gate.
Oh wait, the way this is packaged up, this could be a Paul. This could have been one of the Paul gates. Yeah. That's plausible. I don't know. See, you don't need to. Don't. No, don't, Fret Level Midnight. Do not. I repeat, do not. Don't. Once. It didn't. I had to send it to Lawrence. He said there was burning. Don't. Just don't. 68, though, you can run at 18, I think. Right, Lawrence? Can you still do that? Because I know the OG one. Yeah, 9 or 18, dealer's choice. Can I run it at 12, Lawrence? What does a 68 sound like running at 12? That's what inquiring minds want. Because I have those 12-volt tap outs that I can't use for anything, Terry. What the fuck runs at 12? Nothing.
Yep.
But I would think in theory, if a pedal says you can run at 9 to 18, you can run 12. It'll do something.
The 87 is 9-volt input only and converts internally to 24 volts.
Exactly. Yeah, internally. Internally, it does. He does all the work for you. No, Chris is going to send another Joyo noise gate? Sure. Yeah, so I have dual Joyo noise gates. Right.
Hey, just be lucky that he's not going to pull a Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum on you.
I'll take a reverb. He's sending everybody reverbs, isn't he?
248 reverbs? Gotta admit, you talk about the ultimate guitar pedal prank to do on somebody, that would be it. Like 100 plus of like all the same pedal.
Well, there we are. So the 68 will probably go on the board. And we'll run her at 12. We'll because.
Do 9 to 18, 12 sounds good, 15 sounds good, 18 sounds good, even 8 sounds good. Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Like, there's got to be, like I said, there's pedal makers that do make pedals that
That's what it was. I think Michael Cross, I think you're right. I think some old Boss pedals ran at 12 for some weird reason.
Yep.
Yeah, more headroom. That's for sure. Wow. New Zealand is hard up for rechargeable 9-volt batteries. All the more reason to get a power supply, I guess.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure, too, I've heard some... I'm not sure 100% if it was fuzz pedals or whatever, but it was the same thing. It was a pedal that was some type of distortion or fuzz that when you actually ran it at a higher voltage, it actually cleaned up or gained more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you run them at the higher voltage, you get more headroom. It's just like having a higher wattage amp.
Yeah.
Same theory, just more headroom. Excuse me.
Well, there you
Technically,
go.
the C2 runs at 12, but I run it at 9. Dan in New Jersey says, okay. Janice, now you know how that's how I feel when people talk about like the cage system and stuff like that. I don't shapes, figures and numbers. I don't know.
When someone gets Tom to explain music theory.
Tom knows that stuff, eh? Tom paid good money
it.
to know that stuff, so yeah. Hey, Craig T. Tomlinson.
Hey.
Yeah, you basically bias the hell out of your guitar symmetry. 2.7 volts measuring.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, just starving it like you would starve a fuzz.
Yeah,
cool.
I it's funny he mentioned that because when I had the Schecter Damon Elite that had the EMGs in it, that's exactly what happened to me too. Was the battery I plugged it in, I'm like, what the heck? It's like I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm like, okay, change out the battery and again. Nice and clear signal. I'm like, God, it sounds terrible.
I want to know is why do I always forget to unplug my guitar after playing it only when I play with active pickups?
Old habit, used to not playing active. That's pretty much it.
Apparently Mayhem has no concept of time.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're literally. Oh, wait. Mayhem, we're approaching 3 minutes over our usual time. Geez, a marathon. Oh, we'll go for a few more minutes. Geez, I barely even touched the pint tonight. What's up with that, Terry? Jesus.
I don't know. Absolute, were you in Sunnyvale recently?
Cool.
Mr. Glenn's pickups, shameless plug for nice.
Nice. All right, Craig's with me. Okay, cool. What am I gonna do with a Joyo noise gate?
I don't know. That's.
I don't mind noise. That's why I don't care. Like I only use them for feedback. Noise, not an issue for me. I could care less if I have a noisy signal. I do, Charles. Wow, it should be a big one. Not going down fast enough. Did you? No, it was great having you on last night. Party, yeah. I know. Drink it up. All right, fine. I don't know, Terry. Should we go to the bottom of the hour till we get to the bottom of the glass?
Sure. Why not?
We did get 2 channel members tonight, so we should be celebrating. Woo! Let's talk about a little more about that guitar of yours. So, if you decide to mod it, which I'm almost like, if I didn't have to pay off the Music Man, I'd be like, dude, just sell to me and we'll get you another fucking Strat. I gig them. Yeah. I got a lot. As we were discussing off air, I've got a lot of hours on those pickups.
Yeah.
Although
that's what I said.
I'm curious, are they okay sounding as far as tone? Like, how are they a little dark, a little bright, in the middle?
I'd say the neck pickup's a little. I think the neck pickup's a little muddy with gain. Any type of gain push to it. When it's clean, it's not so bad. The bridge seems to be more higher in the ohms, so it's a little bit more distorted to it, but clean or distorted. It seemed to be, even with the fuzz going through it, it seemed to still be not bad. But the neck pickup was rather muddy when you threw anything really gainy at it.
Well, see, the reason I was wondering is because, like, I really like. I keep pointing at the guitar that was there last night and not tonight. But so yeah, for those, every time I point at the Les Paul, I'm actually referring to my Telecaster. Sure. What I was going to say is they're not covered.
Yeah.
And in general, if you remove the covers off pickups, they will brighten a bit.
Yep.
So I'm almost wondering if that guitar would sound better if you uncovered the pickups. Now, that said, yeah. I'm curious too. Yeah. What are you playing through for an amp these days?
Origin 20.
Right.
And the demo I did earlier, I've actually been playing it on the full 20 watt mode now.
Well, smart man. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking, and that amp's a little, not a lot, but a little darker sounding than the amp that's not there that I'm pointing at, to go along with the guitar that's not there that I'm pointing at, because that's how tonight's been going. It's been there for 2 years, Terry. I'm so used to going,
well, that's what I said. I'm so used to being there, I didn't even notice that it was gone.
My pedalboard's sitting there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you do a swap, though, are you going to just do a loaded guard? So that way you can leave that intact as is?
That's probably the route that I'm thinking.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, because otherwise you don't want to use any of those pots or anything, because those pots are for those pickups.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go all 250 across the board. What's up, Basement Guitar Superstar?
Yep. Hey, Basement. Yeah, and I mean, that's basically what it would be. It would be a pick guard. Like, if I could actually afford the one pick guard that I would be looking at, if I could afford to buy it directly through the manufacturer or through another party, if I could afford that, I would go that route. And try to leave the original pick guard. And I kind of like the idea of what somebody else did on somebody's YouTube channel. I had seen it. Somebody got the idea of actually making it that the ground wire that normally goes to your trim,
Yeah.
make it that it's a plug or a clip, so that all you have to do is run a wire off of the previous pick guard or off of whatever pick guard that you're going to put in, and you just simply do a quick connect
Right.
to the ground.
Yeah. Or you could even put a little junction thing on it,
Yeah, exactly.
a tab and sleeve or something like that, like electrical connection where you'd splice in wires.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
when I seen that, when somebody did that before, I was like, that's a good idea. And I mean, in the case of...
I just leave it as is. Just turn up some more mids and some highs, turn down your bass, and there you go.
Yeah.
But then again, it's all relative too, because it's your hands, your rig, and I'm just like, oh, I know my hands and my rig. And I'm like, it's a Strat without a middle pickup, so I can actually play that mother. All it needs is a set of telly knobs, and you're good to go.
Telly knobs and not the amp style knobs. See,
Yep.
now, yeah.
Oh, those amp style knobs are going on the chip knobs that I have on various amp heads here that I need replacement knobs for.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like that style of amp knob on a guitar, but to me, the only style I like them on is pretty much, for the most part, like a Jazzmaster.
Mm.
I like that look. I also don't mind it on like an LP style guitar, like the 4 control knob style guitars. They look good in that regard, like the Tele Deluxe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in that aspect, it looks nice too. But yeah, on a Strat, it just looks weird. Not to mention the other thing too I was thinking about is like that bottom like part of like the amp knob that runs like so close to like where the pickup is.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be it kind of would be concerning if you mashed it down the wrong way or something, that you might be rubbing it against the pickup screw holder.
See a few people mentioning they need Marshalls in their lives. I get it. I only don't need a Marshall in my life because I've got a bunch of Marshalls in boxes. Thanks, Lawrence. Still need to get 74. Round out the collection, as it were. Yeah, then I could have the 74 on this board. Then I'd leave the 87 on the other board. I was riding that green channel on the 87 a lot. That was nice. Edge of breakup, pretty much. Light breakup. Worked well.
Well, and that's what I said. Like, that's been the great thing with you having such an awesome understanding with pedals. You actually can go through and, whether it be one specific brand name or various brand names or price points, you're actually able to do a really good job at setting it up.
Not to sound like a complete shill for our good friend Lawrence of LPD Pedals, available at lpdpedals.com. But there are other companies that do amps in boxes, if you want to, let's call it that genre of overdrives. There's several companies that do them and do them quite well. I happen to like Lawrence's flavor of Marshalls. But then again, like, I haven't tried the Friedman pedals, and I hear they're good.
Yeah. Well, that's just it.
You just don't see them on the secondhand market. And if I'm going to pay the price of a Friedman pedal, I'll just buy a Lawrence pedal.
Yeah.
Because they're about the same price. Within $20.
Yeah. I was going to say, the only time I've seen Friedman on my local Kijiji was again when
House of Twang put it up for sale?
No.
It's basically the same thing as a Friedman head.
No. The only time there's been anything Friedman up on the local Kijiji was again when 6-string Brian lived in the area.
Right.
And that's why I said, like, that guitar looks familiar, or that Friedman looks familiar, and then I go and I look and I'm like, Brian. I'm like, yeah.
It's like Richie always knows. He's like, I get always told when you're hard up for money. I'm like, why? He goes, all of a sudden I browse the Kijiji and all of a sudden it's flooded with pedals. He's like, awesome, a whole bunch of new ads. And he goes, so do you want to do a group deal? I'm like, sure, buddy. I have no problem giving him the friends and family discount. Obviously, if anyone's going to get one, it's him. And it's like, hey, you got these at $40 a piece. You take 100 for 3 of them. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Or it'll be like, how about $90 in a 6-pack, and we jam and drink the 6-pack while playing with the pedals. I'm like, sure. Sure.
Oh, Hog Rotten says he's a Friedman pedal. Which one would that be then, Hog?
I'm curious. Yeah, I'd be curious to check them out. When I've been around them to try them, Terry, it's like your NAMM show environment, and I rarely play pedals at those shows because you can't hear them very well.
Yeah.
And especially they're like, oh, go play through this little 2 notes thing. It's a simulated amp, blah blah blah. It sounds pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it sounds pretty good. It's not good. It's pretty good. It's not good. 5150 pedal. That's a nice overdrive.
Hasn't designed his signature pedal yet.
Yet.
No, I was going to say, like, when you're at NAMM and they launched all the new revision stuff, I think that's one of the things that Gibson did do excellently at their booth, was actually having it that all the guitars were there and they actually had everything hooked up that you could put the headphones on and have everything else drowned away from you. You could only hear what the instrument.
I think they went with. I think they had a crap ton of katanas there.
Yeah.
To play through. Oh, the Dirty Shirley pedal, nice.
Oh yeah.
Hey Eddie. So, and even that, yeah, it's weird. Like some of that stuff, I think I play like in the Gibson booth. I quickly grabbed an Epi Les Paul, just quickly, and literally it's like boom, kneel down, okay, yeah, it's the same, feels the same, quality's there, it's the same. A couple of custom shopped ones just because.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Fender's booth, I didn't play any of their nice stuff because you couldn't play any of their nice stuff. It was behind glass.
Yeah.
ESP LTD, one of the largest booths there. Did I play any of their stuff? No, most of it was behind ropes.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is the big thing with ESP.
PRS. I've yet to enter a PRS booth at NAMM. Never made it. I think they're right across the hall from Gibson, if I'm not mistaken, or they're down the hall. Or I don't know where they were because I never went. Never made it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be weird.
Then again, like, no offense to PRS owners, but I'm just not into them. So I had no desire. And I only checked at the ESP room because I'm not into them either. But JJ wanted to go check them out. So he's like, oh, they got one of the biggest things, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, let's check it out. That's cool. And then, like, Fender, you got Fender on one side of the hall, short hall, alcove, if you will. That's all Fender. Across the hall is your EVH, your Charvel, your Jackson, and your Gretsch, all in one room, half the size of the Fender room. Although Fender has the Squires in there as well, so it's Fender Squireville.
That's funny.
Yeah, scratch right, exactly.
Fender didn't want you to scratch the relics.
I walked by the Kiesel booth. I did stop at the Kiesel booth to watch Johnny Highland play a bit. And then also it was just crowds, and I was like, yeah. I think the worst was Summer NAMM, where it was right across the aisle from each other. It was Johnny Highland and Brent Mason, and they just started trading off licks, turning up, and then everybody's, you knew something was up because you're like, I can't even get down this aisle at all because they're backed up like 5 spaces deep all the way around. It was awesome. Hey, Martin. I don't know. Did First Act have a booth? They might have.
I know they as far as I know, they never have. Other than when they did have their custom shop, I don't think they actually had. Or if they did, maybe they did do a little bit like a showing off a little bit of custom shop type of stuff. But
nice.
As far as I know, newer.
Magic Man says Newbird's named Keeley after his favorite pedals.
Nice. It's weird that icon's like looks like a cardinal or something.
Go St. Louis, I guess. Sure. Yeah, I'm the opposite hog rot, and if you walk in here, you can play whatever you want. And that goes for whatever you want. You want to play a vintage guitar, feel free. And I get it, because Terry, a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have one. I'm lucky that I happen to have a couple. So if you swing by, you're like, hey, have you ever played a 50-year-old guitar? No, here, well, you have now.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, when it comes to something like that, like say like if you were to come here, I wouldn't have a problem with you grabbing stuff off the stand and playing it, but that's because it's you.
Yeah.
Other people, it's a totally different story. I want it in my hand.
Yeah.
And give it to you, and you can play it then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm one of, like, if I'm like, I'd say, like, can I play this? And you're like, sure, whatever. That tells me play whatever. Unless it was like you have a rack of guitars and then the one in the glass case, then you'd be like, hey, do you mind?
Like back when I had my first Fender Stratocaster there, when I initially had bought that one, it was like the one guy that me and Twang know that's kind of a pathological liar. He came over here, seen my guitar. Oh, cool, you got a guitar. He turns on my amp, picks up my guitar, and he starts like, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, that's my guitar. Get your friggin' hands off of it.
Exactly. Justin asks, what do you consider vintage? Anything that's 50 or more years old.
Yeah, I guess that's about right. Well, isn't it 25 in car terms? 25 is a classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that'd be applicable.
Yeah. So yeah, those 1996 NAMM Strats you got out there, those are now classic guitars.
Yeah.
Makes you feel old.
Johnny Highland is a savage.
He is.
Well, yeah, he might be a savage as a player, but again, he changes guitar companies like someone changes underwear. So
Yeah. I have no problem with that. Some people, it's funny because some people do, but the way, like, I come from the NASCAR world, you know, and
yeah,
you sign sponsorship contracts, or, you know, and the funny part is, like, if you follow pro sports, you sign with a team for 3 years. When that contract's up, you don't have a problem with him moving to another team as a free agent. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Johnny's a free agent. He signs a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with a pedal company or an amp or something. And he's good enough that he can get a signature guitar, amp, pedal, blah, blah, you know, strap, picks, whatever, right? So in that respect, you're like, yeah, I never had it because I just saw him as picking up a new ride. Why are you buying your own guitars, Terry? Why are you touring with gear you have to buy? You can get it all supplied to you with sponsors. That's the way I see it.
Fret Level Midnight says, I'm looking for a used Katana Mark II 100 head. These clowns on Reverb and eBay are basically asking retail after shipping. Well, that's because of the demand issues right now.
Give it 18 months.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God, Terry, there's going to be so many modeling amps available in 18 months.
Yeah.
Because you figure, like, what, probably half of all amps sold were probably modeling amps over the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Or half, and actually, I wonder, are half of all amps in general sold? Generally, like modeling amps of some kind or variety, you know, like, because it used to be, I think it was like, you know, 75-80% of amps sold were practice, what we'd consider practice or bedroom amps.
Yeah.
Because nobody needed a gigging, you know, nobody needed a half stack or a 212 that's 60 watt, you know, tube 212. People didn't need that for home use. So, you know, you had your little PV Rages and stuff like, or whatever. But now, you know, it seems like everybody goes out and buys a Squier, whatever, or an Epiphone and a Katana or a Boss Mustang or a Yamaha or the Vox or the PV before that, you know, for, I don't know, a Line 6. How many Line 6 Spiders were sold over the years? Right?
Or still keep trying to get sold.
Sure.
But in regards to what Fret Level Midnight said, at this point in time, I wouldn't even be bothering to try to buy a used one.
Dude, like the crazy thing for us, and I'm sure it's the same in Terry's area, the biggest retention in value right now is Epiphone Les Pauls. Because they retail for $800 and they're selling used at $700.
Yeah, you're right, because I've seen a few Epi Customs from 2008. Some guy wanting $800, and I'm like, that's, like you said, that's the cost of a brand spanking new one. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but try buying the new, like the traditional Pro, the custom traditional Pro, you know, the Tesi one that they were doing a few years ago that were, they're asking $700-800. Yeah, those things are $1,000 now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. That's okay, Dan. You can play your Line 6. I don't judge. I mock, but I don't judge. I mock. There's right back, it's back there. There's an Line 6 HX Effects. Mayhem still has my Stomp. You know what? You called me a week ago, Terry. He said, I'll be over this week. I'll bring over your Stomp. Really? Don't see it.
Hey, Ham, where are you?
What's up, Gretch Zeppelin? So
It's actually
you know
funny
why the
that
gear isn't going down? I'm yapping too much tonight. I don't have Tom taking up space where I'm just like,
um, the it's funny the couple people here like Billy Baloney and Janus said, they've had people come over and grab their acoustics and like are like really aggressively grabbing them and that. It's like it's funny how many people are like that. They just seem to have no consequences.
And that's the thing. Like back in the day, we're of a certain age that in the early '90s, you go over to someone's house, chances are they owned a Hondo or a Profile or something. Or if it's an older guitar, it's a Greco. Like nobody had name brand stuff, right? And there wasn't a lot of Squires around in the early '90s. To be honest, Terry, there was more Fenders around than Squires. So and I had nice gear because I bought nice gear from day one because that's the way Dad raised me. And I started buying shittier gear years later. Like I went the opposite way. And so people go, because my Strat would be sitting out. And they would get within 3 feet. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's the first, I'm like, because I'd see it, I'm like, no. You can grab the piece of crap over there, the piece of plywood. You're not touching that. Let me hear you, and if they can play, fine, but nobody can really play. Now, if one of my dad's friends came by and reached for it, I wouldn't say a word, Terry. Because they're all players. None of his Yahoo friends would do that. Because he didn't have any Yahoo friends. He didn't have time for Yahoos. So, but yeah, that was kind of the deal with that. I did not. If I showed up for a jam, that's why later, like when I had my own place, I started jamming around 20, let's say age 20. I had a piece of shit guitar just to take out for jams and stuff like that. I wouldn't even bring the nice gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, Fretlove Midnight. I think we all have a few of those regrets. Well, it's a Costco guitar. I didn't know Costco sold guitars.
Well, they sell computers and that.
Exactly.
They sell just about everything.
Yeah, I tell people, hey, I don't touch your wife. Exactly.
And yeah, exactly. Even if it is something cheap and crappy,
and I don't know if that's because people have a plethora of gear now. Whereas our parents' generation was that where they had one guitar and one amp.
Yeah.
So you knew it meant something more, Yeah, I'm curious about that. I don't know.
Well, again, it's the whole etiquette thing, really, or whatever moral thing, whatever you want to call it.
Now, meanwhile, my roommate could grab my gear. I didn't care. Stuff like that. Yeah, I come home, he'd be playing my gear. I'm like, all right. He was like, you want to jam? I'm like, yeah, my gear's warmed up. He goes, why don't you play my gear? I'm like, no, my gear's good. Yours is... I forget what he had. He had some little amp. Some little shitty amp that had a power adapter. It was one of those deals.
Yeah.
Like a gorilla, but not a gorilla.
Magic Man, there's ads on Craigslist Sacramento that are legit over 5 years old because they refused to lower the price even in the boom they couldn't sell it.
Yep.
Well, kind of like I was saying, like with like the Line 6 stuff. It's again, Line 6 amps for the most part, nah. Anything else, though, from Line 6 are awesome products. And the only amp really of worthiness to actually buy from Line 6 is, again, the one that's the tube that was a co-build with Bogner.
Right.
Those amps, there's people that still own those amps and still say they still sound great today.
True. Well, we hit the hour and a half mark. It's been a fun show. Again, those you get the pinned comment. So yes, Andre could make it. We're gonna have him hopefully this coming Monday. Due to a windstorm in Tofino, he lost power, so which sucks. No NAS Canucks show tomorrow for the three of you in the chat. Doug hits me up today. He's like, "So daytime show tomorrow?" I'm like, "Or do you want to go to every other week during the off season?" I'm like, "Well, we're not doing tomorrow during the day because I'm busy. So we'll probably start doing every other week." But of course, Roche has a big announcement tomorrow. Roche Racing. Guess what? New name. There's the big announcement. You heard it here. Yeah, I know, Charles. I know you're heartbroken. I know. So, got Guitar Town Hall with David Nesdall this Thursday on the David Nesdall channel. Myself and David Nesdall. Makes sense that he's on it because it's his channel, his show. This coming Sunday, Adam Reaver from FU-Tone will be joining us, talking all good things about tone. And then the next Sunday, we have Aaron from Elvis Band returning. He's been out there gigging. They've been writing some new material, so we're going to get an update on the band, and I don't know, talk pedals a little. Sure, why not? It's happened. So
you always get a nice amount of, I think, a little bit of everything with Aaron because, mind you, though, like you said, ultimately, though, pedal is, his thing for sure. But he's awesome in that regards to that. It's not just a pedal subject. It's
he knows guitars and amps too, but it's just he's got much more experience with pedals. I think that's
exactly.
Need to be a better Canadian and change the show to a hockey show. No, there's enough hockey shows. But I gave up on hockey like 4 years ago.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Including a bit of hockey, including a bit of hockey here and there is all right. But I agree with Ben. I
could care less at this point about the game. Dad still, hey, did you see the Leafs won? I'm like, I could care less. I had to carve out more time for music, and pro sports was the result. Basically, for YouTube. The amount of time I used to divulge into YouTube was into pro sports as well as music. So,
yeah.
I said, you know what? We'll keep the NASCAR thing going and IndyCar because I've always liked auto racing. But I didn't even become a hockey fan until I was like 17. So.
Fret level midnight. Stop giving up on hockey. You're Canadian. Hey, I still own a hockey stick and a Goldie stick.
Hey, my dad was the outcast being a Leafs fan. Fret level midnight. His whole family, I believe, were all Boston fans because they grew up on the East Coast. So they were all Doug's dad, John, huge Boston fan. Dad was a Leafs fan for whatever reason. I was a Leafs fan because Dad was and my grandfather was, and Mom's side of the family had season tickets to the Gardens the whole time the Gardens was there. That's why I can't do the show during the day tomorrow, Mark, because you and I are getting together. That's right. I'll see you at noon tomorrow. He and I, we'll probably end up hanging out in here somewhat at some point, warm up, but we got some work to do outside and stuff. So.
Well, at least it could be worse. We could have people demanding that we turn into a curling show.
Hip Metalworth says, have the Leafs won the cup yet? Yeah, I believe 13 times. It's been a while.
Which cup? The Grey Cup?
So, on that note, any parting words, my friend?
Other than thanks, folks, for tuning back into my videos that I am putting back up again. I'm gonna keep with that, trying to keep putting videos up again, and
sure.
Keep being awesome, people. Keep being positive, and stay safe and warm this week.
Very true. So on that note, if you haven't already, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And hold those doors open. Let that lady ahead of you in traffic do good things, and good things will happen to you. Why? Because Down and Back with Corn Dog's wife is real. Happy tone chasing. Be good to each other. And as always, don't litter. Don't be that guy.
Nope. Don't.
Where's the off button? Where? There? Yeah?